Academic language across subjects. Components: vocabulary, grammatical structures, functions, text structures. Defining academic language. Academic language is the language of academic disciplines, of text and literature, and of extended reasoned discourse. Academic language refers to the formal and specialized language used in educational and professional settings. It includes the vocabulary, grammar, and discourse structure specific to academic disciplines. This language is essential for students to grasp and articulate the concepts of subjects like mathematics, science, or social science. Mastery of academic language enables students to understand and engage with complex text, participate in reasoned discussions, and convey their knowledge effectively. So, language that students must comprehend to access the concept associated with a particular discipline. Example: maths, science, social science, and used to demonstrate the understanding of the concepts. Academic language and literacy. Background schema. The knowledge and experiences that a person brings to understanding new information. Schema means mental framework that help individuals organize and interpret information based on past experience and knowledge. Native language transfer. The influence of a person's native language on learning a new language affecting pronunciation, grammar, and usage. Prosody paralinguistics. The rhythm, stress, and intonation of speech that help convey meaning and emotion. Paralinguistics. Non-verbal elements of communication such as tone, pitch, and volume that accompany spoken language. Next, phonetics awareness, phonics. Phonomic awareness, the ability to recognize and manipulate individual sounds in spoken words. Phonics, the relationship between letters and their sounds and how to use this knowledge to read and write. Alphabets, the system of using letters and their corresponding sounds to form words. Fluency, the ability to read text accurately, quickly, and with proper expression. General knowledge, understanding different types of text and their characteristics such as narrative, expository, and or persuasive. Academic. Next, classroom discourse. The way language is used in educational setting, including teacher-student and student-student interaction. Grammar, the set of rules governing the structure of sentence, including syntax, morphology, and punctuations. Oral language, the ability to understand and use spoken language effectively, including listening and speaking skills. Next, reading and listening, comprehension strategies. Skills involved in interpreting written text and understanding spoken information. Writing, the ability to convey ideas clearly and effectively through written text, including structure, coherence, and style. General knowledge, understanding different types of text and their characteristics such as narrative, expository, or persuasive. Components of academic language across subjects. The three main components of academic language are vocabulary, grammatical structures, and functions. Vocabulary. This includes specialized term and phrases used in academic context. For example, in science, terms like photosynthesis or ecosystem are essential, while in history, terms like revolution or colonialism are crucial. Grammatical structure. This refers to the complex sentence structures often used in academic writing and speaking. For instance, the use of passive voice, complex sentence, and varied punctuations can help convey nuanced ideas and arguments. Functions. These are the purpose for which language is used in academic settings, such as explaining concepts, arguing a position, analyzing data, or comparing and contrasting. For most students, academic language cannot be learned through exposure within a classroom setting, but must be explicitly taught, practiced, and applied to a variety of content areas repeatedly throughout the year. To effectively learn academic language, students often need explicit instruction and practice. This involves direct teaching, explicitly teaching the vocabulary and grammatical structure used in academic discourse. Practice. Providing opportunities for students to use academic language in various contexts and subject areas, reinforcing their understanding and application. Application. Encouraging students to apply academic language skills in different content areas, helping them to see the relevance and utility of these skills across subjects. Explicitly taught, practice, application. Vocabulary. A vocabulary is also known as word stock. It's a set of familiar words within a person's language. A vocabulary usually developed with age serves as a useful and fundamental tool for communication and acquiring knowledge. Vocabulary grows with age and experience. As people are exposed to new words through reading, conversation, and education, the vocabulary expands. When the learners learn the word, they know both the meaning of the word and how to use the words. Usage. Learning a new word involves more than just memorizing its meaning. It also requires understanding how to use the word in different contexts, knowing which words are appropriate for specific situations, and how to construct sentence properly. Overall, a robust vocabulary supports not only everyday communication but also deeper comprehension and learning across various subjects. Tier 1. Basic everyday words that are typically learned through natural language exposure. Examples: come, see, happy, table. Tier 1 words are the words we use every day in our speech. These words are typically learned through conversation. These are commonly words that rarely require direct instruction. Tier 2. More complex words that are used across various contexts and are crucial for understanding text. They often appear in writing more than in casual speech. Examples: endure, arrange, compare, contrast. Text 2 words are frequency words that occur across context. These words are used by mature language users and are more common in writing than everyday speech. Tier 2 words are important for students to know to enhance comprehension of a selected text. Tier 2 words, the best words for targeted explicit vocabulary instruction. Example: endure, arrange, compare, contrast. Tier 3. Specialized words specific to certain field or subject, usually learned in the context of specific content areas. Example: atom, molecule, metamorphic, sedimentary. Type 3 words are low frequency words and are limited to a specific domain. They often pertain to specific content area. These words are best learned within the context of the lesson or subject matter. Tiers of vocabulary instruction. Tier 1. Basic words. These are everyday words that most students are already familiar with, such in, house, dog and blue. They form the foundation of language and are often learned early in life. Tier 2. High utility words. These words are more advanced and are useful across various subjects and contexts. Examples include emerge, function, and navigate. They are important for reading, comprehension and effective communication. Tier 3. Advanced content words. Advanced content words. These words are specific to a particular subject or field of study like biotic, ecosystem and photosynthesis. They are often encountered in academic texts and are crucial for understanding specialized content. Tier 1 basic words, Tier 2 high utility words, Tier 3 academic content words. Academic vocabulary. Academic language can also be conceptualized as being composed of different types of language. Language of instruction. This include words and phrases used to teach and learn lesson content. Examples are strategies, pre-writing and context clues. These are crucial for understanding how to engage with and process the lesson. Next, language of text. These are words related specifically to the content area or theme being studied, such as habitants, camouflage and prey. They help in comprehending and discussing the subject matter of the text. Next, multi-syllabic words with prefixes, suffixes and Greek and Latin roots. These include words with prefixes, suffixes and Greek or Latin roots, which often convey more complex concepts. Examples include informational, hopelessness and psychology. Understanding these helps in deciphering and using advanced vocabulary. Word families. Words that are related by the root forms and meaning, such as relay, reliance and reliable. Recognizing these can enhance understanding and use of related terms and concepts. These categories help in systematically building a robust academic vocabulary by addressing different dimensions of language use. Different types of language, language of instruction, language of text, multi-syllabic words, word families. Key vocabulary. Academic language. Content words. These words carry specific meaning related to the subject matter. Example, graph, axis, y-intercept. These words are crucial for discussing and understanding concepts in mathematics or data analysis. Process or function words. These words describe action or functions in academic context. Example, locate, determine, identity. These verbs are often used in academic instructions and assessments. Words and word parts, that is affixes, roots, that teach English structure. These are parts of words that help in understanding the structure and meaning of related words. Example, graph, related words, photograph, geography, pictograph. The root graph relates to writing or drawing in various contexts. Multiple meaning words. Words that have different meanings based on context. Example, table can refer to a piece of furniture or a collection of data in a spreadsheet. Multiple can refer to several items or a mathematical concept involving multiplication. Difference can refer to distinction between two items or a mathematical operation. Connectives explanation. Connective or conjunctions are words used to link ideas and sentences. Example, addition and furthermore, moreover. Contrast But, however, although, cause and effect, because, therefore, consequently. Comparison, similarly, likewise, in comparison. Teaching academic language in 4 rounds. Focus on academic vocabulary. Choose short, engaging text tied to the content. Choose a text relevant to the content. For instance, if you are teaching about ecosystem, a short article or passage about specific ecosystem could be used. Select set of academic vocabulary for instruction and student practice. Choose a set of academic vocabulary words that are crucial for understanding the text. For example, if the text discusses ecosystem, words like habitat, biodiversity, predator, and prey would be important. Visual explorations. Use different media sources. Use multimedia sources like videos, images, or interactive simulations to help students visualize and understand the concepts related to the academic vocabulary. For instance, show a video of different ecosystem or use diagram to illustrate predator-prey relationships. Structured close reading. Strategically use instructional tools and engage students in structured multiple reading to help make sense of content. Guide students through multiple reading of the text focusing on different aspects. For example, the first reading could focus on understanding the main idea, the second on identifying key details related to the academic vocabulary, and the third on analyzing the relationship between concepts. Structured writing. Provide writing tasks that require students to use the academic vocabulary in context. For instance, ask students to write a summary of the text using the academic words or to explain a concept using specific vocabulary terms. This approach helps scaffold learning by gradually building students' understanding and application of academic language in relation to content knowledge. Effective strategies to expand students' productive vocabulary. Selecting the words. Choose 6 out of 11 to 12 words for students to learn. Ensure these words are relevant to their current studies or interest to increase engagement and retention. Recording the words and monitoring. Have students write the selected words on one side color cards. This can aid in visual learning. Regularly check these cards to ensure students are correctly recording and reviewing the words. Next, learning the words. Use color-coded strategies to help students remember words. For example, color code by word type, noun, verb, adjective, or by difficulty level to aid in differentiation and recall. Sharing the words. Encourage students to use and share their new vocabulary in sentences or conversations with peers. This practice helps in contextualizing the words and reinforces learning through social interaction. Assessing and monitoring learning. Regularly assess students' understanding of the words through quizzes, oral questions, or writing assignments. Provide feedback on their use of the words in context. Recycle the vocabulary. To ensure long-term retention, ask students to use the words in various contexts. For example, have them write a short story or a report incorporating the vocabulary words. This repeated application helps solidify their understanding and usage. Strategies for teaching vocabulary across the curriculum. Alpha boxes. This strategy involves creating a grid where each letter of the alphabet is used to list and define vocabulary related to a specific topic. For example, if the topic is ecosystem, we might use A for adaptation, B for biome, and so on. This method helps students organize and recall vocabulary systematically. It is strategy that uses the 26 letters of the alphabet to record important concepts about a specific topic. Next, word questioning. This approach involves prompting students with questions about words to deepen their understanding. For instance, you might ask, what does this word mean? How is it used in a sentence? Or can you find a synonym or antonym for this word? This encourages students to think critically about vocabulary and its context. Next, linear arrays. This strategy focuses on showing relationships between words. For example, you might arrange words on a continuum or scale based on their meaning or degrees of intensity. Example, happy might range from content to ecstatic. This visual representations helps students understand nuances in word meaning and their interconnections. Focusing on word relationships is one of the most frequently cited successful instruction strategies for teaching vocabulary. Next, polar opposites. A companion strategy to linear array is polar opposites. This method involves teaching vocabulary by comparing words with their antonyms. For example, if teaching the word hot, you would also discuss cold. This strategy helps students grasp the full meaning of a word by contrasting it with its opposite. Story impressions, clue words and phrases. These are key terms or phrases extracted from a story that captured its central themes, plot points, or character traits. They help readers recall and discuss important aspects of the narratives. Next, words sorts for native text. Word sorts for native text. Teacher creates. The teacher prepares a set of index cards, each featuring a significant word or phrase from a story. Students then sort these cards into categories based on their relevance to the story's plot, character, settings, or themes. This exactly helps students deepen their understanding of the narrative and its elements. Next, word sorts for expository text. Similar to narrative text sorts, but focused on non-fiction, the index cards would contain key terms related to the main ideas, supporting details and structure of the expository text. Sorting these cards can help students grasp the organization and content of informational text. Next, anticipation guide. An anticipation guide is a pre-reading strategy designed to activate students' prior knowledge and set of purpose for reading. It typically includes statements or questions related to the text, themes, or content. Students first predict whether they agree or disagree with these statements before reading. After reading, they revisit the predictions to see if their views have changed based on the new information they have learned. This approach encourages critical thinking and engagement with the text. Grammar is a set of rules about language. In linguistics, grammar is a set of structured rules governing the composition of clauses, phrases, and words in a natural language. The term refers also to the study of such rules, and this field includes phonology, morphology, and syntax, often complemented by phonetics, semantics, and pragmatics. Phonology. This deals with the sound system of a language and how sounds are organized and combined. Morphology. This focuses on the structure and formation of words, including prefixes, suffixes, and root words. Syntax. This pertains to the arrangements of words in a sentence to convey meaning, including the rules of word order and sentence structure. At the sound level, phonology refers to the rules of the sound system and the rules of sound combination. Additionally, phonetics, the study of speech sounds, semantics, the study of meaning, and pragmatics, the study of context and usage, complement these core areas. The grammar of a language refers to the way words are put together to make meaningful sentences. Using grammar terms can be helpful when discussing writing problems and referring to sources that describe writing. Here are some commonly used grammar terms to describe different types of writing problems. Subject-verb agreement. This refers to matching the subject of a sentence with appropriate verb form. For example, the cat runs. Correct. That is correct. Versus the cat run. That is incorrect. Next, verb tense. This refers to the time frame in which an action or state of being take place. For example, she walked to the store. Past tense versus she walks to the store. Present tense. Sentence fragment. A sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence that is missing a subject, verb, or both. It does not express a complete thought. For example, walking to the store, fragment, versus she is walking to the store, complete sentence. Next, run-on sentence. A run-on sentence occurs when two or more independent clauses are improperly joined together without proper punctuation or conjunction. For example, I went to the store, I bought some groceries, run-on, versus I went to the store, comma, and I bought some groceries. That is correct. Comma splice. A comma splice is a type of run-on sentence where two independent clauses are joined by a comma without a coordinating conjunction. For example, I love to read, comma, it helps me relax, comma splice, versus I love to read because it helps me relax. That is correct. Pronoun antecedent agreement. This refers to matching pronouns with the corresponding antecedents in terms of numbers, singular or plural, and gender. For example, each student must bring their own textbook, incorrect, versus each student must bring his or her own textbook. That is correct. Next, parallel structure. This refers to using consistent grammatical structure within a sentence or a series of sentences. It helps maintain clarity and balances. For example, she enjoys swimming, comma, hiking, comma, and to run. Lack of parallel structure versus she enjoys swimming, hiking, and running. Parallel structure. Modifier placement. This refers to placing modifiers, words or phrases that describe or provide more information in the correct position within a sentence. Misplaced modifiers can lead to confusion or change the intended meaning. For example, I only ate pizza, misplaced modifier, versus I ate only pizza. That is correct. It is important to note that while grammar it is an essential aspect of writing, focusing solely on grammar can sometimes overshadow other important elements such as clarity, coherence, and style. Effective writing involves a balance of grammar, organization, and creativity. Grammatical components, parts of speech, noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, prepositions, conjunctions, interjunctions. Next, prepositions. Preposition indicates relationship between a noun or pronoun and other elements in a sentence. Common prepositions include location, time, direction. Location in, on, at, under, between. Time before, after, during, until. Direction to, from, into, out of. Next, sentence agreement. Subject verb agreement. The subject and verb must agree in number. For example, she writes versus they write. Pronoun antecedent agreement. Pronouns must agree with the antecedents in number and gender. For example, the cat lost its toy. Singular pronoun, it's agree with the singular noun cat. Next, verb tenses. Verb tenses present simple, past simple, future simple, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. Modals. Modals are auxiliary verbs used to express possibility, probability, necessity, or ability. Common modals include can, could, may, might, must, should, would. The rules. Grammar. Rule 1. You must write in sentences. Write in sentences means complete thoughts should be expressed using sentences which contains at least a subject and a predicate. For example, she reads book is a complete sentence. Rule 2. Subject and verb in sentence must agree with each other. Subject-verb agreement. The subject and verb must agree in number. A singular subject requires a singular verb and a plural subject requires a plural verb. For instance, singular, the cat runs fast. Plural, the cats run fast. Rule 3. You must use appropriate punctuations. Use appropriate punctuations. Proper punctuation helps convey the correct meaning and structure. Common punctuation marks include periods to end statement, commas to separate elements, question mark to end questions, exclamation mark to express strong feelings. Next, rule 4. You must use right vocabulary. Choose words that accurately express the intended meaning. This involves using words correctly and in context. For example, use affect verb instead of effect noun when describing influence. Rule 5. You must use the apostrophe correctly and with care. Apostrophe usage. Apostrophes are used to show possession and form contractions. For example, possession, Sarah's book. The book belonged to Sarah. Contractions, don't, short for do not. Following these rules helps ensures clear and effective communication. Levels of language. Phonetics, phonology. Phonetics, the study of the physical sound of human speech. Phonology, the study of how sounds function within a particular language or languages. All sounds, system sounds. Morphology, forms and words. The study of the structure and formation of words. Forms and words examines how morphs combine to form words and how word structure change. Next, syntax, clauses and sentences. This syntax means a study of sentence structure and the rules that govern how words combine to form phrases and sentences. Semantics, meaning of various kinds. Semantics means the study of meaning in language. Pragmatics, language use, the study of language use in context and how context influence meaning. Each level of language contributes to our understanding and how language works from sound production to the interpretation of meaning in context. Grammatical structure. Existence in speaker's mind. Implicit knowledge. Grammatical structures is often considered to be an innate part of language competence. Speakers have an implicit understanding of grammatical rules which allows them to produce and interpret sentences correctly without consciously applying the rules. Next, role in social interaction. Language use. Grammatical structure is not just about the formation of sentence but is crucial for effective communication. It helps convey meaning clearly and appropriately in various social contexts. Next, language acquisition, variation and change. Language acquisition, variation and change. Understanding grammatical structure is key to language acquisition. Children learn the rules of grammar through exposure and use, developing their ability to create and comprehend complex sentences. Variation. Grammatical structure varies according dialects and language. Studying these variations provide insight into how different communities use language. Change. Language evolves over time and changes in grammatical structure reflect broader shift in language use and societal influences. Next, beyond mere recording. Deeper meaning. Grammatical structures goes beyond documenting examples of usage. It involves analyzing how rules and patterns function to produce meaning. This includes understanding syntactic rule, morphological changes, and how different structures affect interpretation. Elements of grammatical structure, form and meaning. Form includes grammatical features like syntax, morphology, and phonology. Meaning is derived from how forms are used and interpreted in context. Elements of form. Elements include word order, inflection, correlation of forms, function words, intonation, stress, pauses. Word order as a grammatical signal. Word order, syntax. Word order is crucial for determining grammatical relation and conveying meaning. Grammatical relationships, word order helps signal grammatical relationships between elements in a sentence such as subject, verb and object. For example, the dog bit the man versus the man bit the dog shows how changing word order alters the sentence meaning. Sentence structure. Different language use word order differently to convey grammatical functions. For example, English relies heavily on word order to indicate sentence structures, while other languages like Latin or Japanese may use different strategies such as inflection or particles to show grammatical relations. Implied grammatical structure sample. Number 1, subject plus verb. Earthquake. Implied earthquakes. Explanation. The compound word suggests a subject, earth, performing an action, quakes. Verb plus object. Kills joy. Implied kills joy. The compound word implies an action, kill, directed to an object, joy. Verb plus adverbial. Stop, stopover. The compound suggests an action, stop, with a modifier, over. Subject plus be plus adjective. Example, high chair. Chair is high. The compound word indicates a subject, chair, and a state of being is high. Adjective modified by prepositional phrase, carefree, free from care. The compound word suggests an adjective, carefree, with a prepositional phrase modifying it, free from care.